I wish someone in my fucking 20s told me, Jets, you need to take no risks. With that being said, welcome Bryant Quadros, everyone, also known as Slim. Slim?
Thank you very much for having me on. Number one, that's obviously...
Of course. Why did I choose you to be here?
Well, I think there's a story behind it. You know what I mean? It's I think I called you because I met you through a Facebook group that you wanted to work.
Yes, I did.
And it's what you were asking to do. And in my head, I saw that post and I was like, what is it about this person that they want to work, and what is it that they don't realize about the industry and how open it is, right? Because there's not a lot of agents that get licensed and then start posting in different networking pages or groups asking to work. Not a lot of people do that. That's not something that I see on a daily basis. Most people are kind of lost. They're very lackadaisical with the way that they approach real estate, and they think that the business is somehow magically supposed to come to them. There's no thirst in wanting to learn the basics, what it is to work in open house, or how it is to just be a day or two in the industry, learn the systems, things like that. So when I saw your post, I cold called you immediately.
Yes, you did. You were actually really good at it. By the way, guys, I was on Facebook commenting to all the realtors if they needed open houses, if they needed a driver, if they needed anything, absolutely anything. I didn't care if I had to drive you from point A to point B to absorb the conversation and actually learn something while I'm doing it. And that's how I found my mentor, who I highly recommend, because he threw me to the wolves.
So the way that I got into real estate, I was 16 maybe. My older brother had gotten a job, his very first job, working at Weicker as a loan officer. And so he was the first one that kind of broke those chains for us. He was the first one in our family to make 6 figures. He wasn't even first generation American.
Wow.
So I'm the first generation American along with my twin brother. He ended up hiring me as an assistant. I kind of knew school wasn't necessarily for me because I was the kid that would always kind of get bad grades but do really good on the test, so somehow I'd end up with a C. Being hired into that world, I saw the way that it changed everything for our family. All of a sudden he was buying furniture, cash, we bought our first house, things like that. When you're introduced to stuff like that and you get used to it, that becomes a way of life for you, it becomes a standard, right? So he set the new standard for what we wanted for ourselves. So I became an assistant, got licensed at 18, went to real estate school at 18 as well, decided to stick with finance, kind of learned, I guess, the ins and outs of finance. I was thrown to wolves too. I'll never forget it. My brother said, hey, you gotta do this pre-approval. And I'm like, wait, I don't know how to do it. He's like, just fill out the application. It says name, put in the name, do this, do that. I was nervous. I talked to the client. I did all right. But on the side, I was selling phones at Radio Shack. So I was kind of salesman.
I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you said that. So my older sister is the one who threw us to the wolves. She broke generational curse. She's the first person who made 6 figures in the family, and we kind of followed, and we want to continue that generation for the next generation that's coming in.
Yeah.
But that's an amazing story. I love that you got into real estate with family.
Yeah, and maybe 40 gray hairs later, 22 years into it, I'm here now, right? So I kind of switched over to real estate. I still do lending, but real estate is now where everybody kind of sees me on their microscope, right? But the lending is so second nature to me at this point that I don't necessarily have to promote that I do the lending, right? Because when I speak to people, they can almost tell that I'm a loan officer as well.
And what do you mean by lending? What's that job description like for the audience to know?
So basically, when I speak to a client, right, they tell me that they're interested in buying a home, right? I have it now down to basically a science where if I can go through their financials, and I don't mean their debt, but most of the time it's basically how much do you make?
Yes.
Right? What do you make? What's your credit score? I can already kind of predetermine what their mortgage should be in order for them to qualify for a home that they want to buy. So if somebody tells me, hey, Brian, look, I make $120,000 a year, then I know, okay, you'll be good for maybe like a $500,000 to maybe $525,000 home if the taxes are low enough. So when you're working in the industry for that long, you hear these numbers so often that at this point it's just memory. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome. That's goals, actually.
So becoming a real estate agent, obviously working for a broker, it wasn't natural. Okay, and it's kind of hard to explain. It wasn't natural because it wasn't my goal. I never thought about becoming a real estate agent ever, like in my life. I thought lending was going to be my lane and that was going to be it. But my fiance now, at the time she was my girlfriend, when she met me as a lender who was cold calling for realtors and just giving away listings. And in exchange for giving them listings, I would say, hey, listen, give me 3 mortgage applications. And I did that for 2 years, and I think I've given away, I would say, more than almost $15 million worth of business in listings, right? I would negotiate the commissions and all that stuff, and let the the seller know that I had a partner that I was working with, and that this was their standard, and I put them in touch just to do the paperwork, things like that. I remembered, like, I never got anything in return. The most I ever got back was a $50 gift card for a woman who ended up netting a commission of, I think, almost $15,000 to $16,000.
Wow.
She gave me a $50 gift card, and then I got maybe like a $60 dinner from somebody else. And she said, like, why are you doing all this? Like, just do it for yourself. And I realized I'm not getting anything back, so I might as well. Finally, she, paid for the course. I did everything, and I slacked. I didn't get my license the first time that I tried it. I regret it to this day. So then she said, you know what, Brian, like, if I don't schedule these tests for you, you're just never gonna do it. So she went a little bit harder. She paid for the course. She scheduled the test. I passed it. And at that point, that's kind of when I started everything. So it happened naturally because I was normally naturally good at calling and converting, but it wasn't something that I came up with.
You sure are. You're really good at calling. I got into real estate because I see myself being trusted, and I see a community following me into beauty. So majority of people know that I know nothing about beauty. And that sounds so cliche, correct? Because how am I running a beauty salon and I don't know how to do hair, makeup, laser hair removal? But what I do know how to do is market, formulate, and give you one hell of an experience. So I saw myself like you, just giving out homes, and again, nothing in return. Nobody ever thanked me. Nobody owes us anything, correct? But it would be nice to feel just as appreciated as we make other people feel.
Yes.
So I understood and felt when you said that. And I just said, you know what? Why can't I sell a home? I'm selling hair, I'm selling makeup, I'm selling cosmetics, I'm selling my business, which is great. It's honestly taking care of me and my kids. So I'm very thankful for it. But I'm ready for the next level. I want to be able to sell homes. I want to be able to work with investors. I want to be able to take over commercial lots, and I want to be able to just give knowledge the same way that you're doing. So you're my goal.
That's awesome. So I can't compare my first year in real estate to anything because and this is actually my first calendar year as a real estate agent. I started, I think, in June of last year. I met my broker, and I had a really bad experience at my previous company. They were taking 40% of my own business. The guy was always on vacation and just never around. So I said, look, 40%, I'll never forget the feeling that I had. It was a $9,300 check. Out of that $9,300, I ended up getting 41. And then I get a call, and my team leader at the time says, well, I'm going to be in Paris next week. I just booked it. And I'm like, I wonder if the $4,000 that I gave away just paid for his trip. So I stopped producing because I just didn't feel comfortable, and I kind of felt like at this point, I can do this on my own. So what am I giving away this money for? And a lot of people get trapped in this ideology that their team leader or their mentor kind of imparts on them that says, hey, don't focus on your split. Focus on your production, because if you want to make $250,000, you'll be able to do that if you close 2 or 2.5 transactions a month. But I started thinking, well, if I'm closing that much, if I'm making $250 a year, how much am I giving to my team? Maybe what, $170? I said, look, this can't be what I'm here for. So I told myself that if I ever built a team or if I ever did anything, it would be a lot different. I would let everybody on the team keep their money for their own business, and the only money that I would take was money that I earned. And now my first year, here to date, I'm at a little bit over $10 million closed, all from cold calls. And this month, in the last 30 days, we listed well over $10 million of property.
Wow. You are the cold calling king.
I love that moniker.
And not only that, you are one hell of a person. And I need you to know that. I tell you all the time, you are different, you stand out, and I am so proud to say that I can be on your team. And I'm so happy that we met.
Well, there's things I'm learning from you too, though. I always tell people, I'm a team lead, yeah, but I'm not perfect. I'm learning as we go, and I tell everybody, we're still a baby. This is something that we're just starting to build. So for me to have this level of arrogance, right, it wouldn't make sense, because what we're building is bigger than just one person, right? There's a difference. You could be the face of a team, you could be the team lead, or you can make whatever it is that you're trying to build bigger than you and scale it on a national level. And I think create leaders within that organization because, there's many people that you meet that are meant to be leaders.
Correct.
Right? And then you don't want the clashing, so what do? You say, hey, look, take the freedom, do what you got to do, build your own thing, but I'd still like to be partners, right? So maybe I don't stay in New Jersey. Maybe I go to Florida, right? And maybe I need somebody to be the face of Jersey, right? So I'm like, hey, I'm going to be in Florida. I really want you to be the face of Jersey because you're good at marketing. And that's the one thing that I know about you. You're extremely, extremely good at marketing. And I guess the way that I view it is like, to run a business, you don't have to be good at everything. You just have to hire people around you that have those skills that you're missing, right? So where you may lean on me for, let's say, cold calling, I would lean on you for marketing. And I know that that's not my strength. So I stay and I teach what I know and I learn from everybody else around me. And I think that's what kind of makes this a great thing.
Yeah, you have a great team on your hand. I love it.
Something I refuse to compromise on within this business, I would say, is there's another ideology that everybody kind of imparts on newer agents that puts you in a box. They say you have to learn how to crawl before you walk, right? Or learn how to walk before you run. When I got into this industry, I kind of I didn't even run, I flew, right? And I feel like there are some people that have it naturally within them to actually fly. So why would I want to keep them in a cage? And everybody tells, everybody, you should work with buyers, do this, do that. And there's nothing wrong with it. I love buyers, right? I was a lender. That was my bread and butter. But at the same time, I think a lot of people try to shrink these ideas or aspirations down a little bit because with any team leader, when you're working with buyers, that is what's going to fill the team leader's pocket.
Yeah.
Especially when you have those crazy splits, right? So most of the time you'll see your team leader wants to be the sole listing agent and then the rest of the team, they want them to be buyer's agents. Me, I refuse to accept that because I feel like within everybody there is a listing agent because everybody has a strength. They haven't realized it. You know what I mean? So it's my job to make sure that when I speak to them, when I hear them talking, when I hear them cold calling, I can kind of put a little bit of a microscope on that strength and triple down on it. And now we have people that have been on a team for a week or maybe even 2 weeks, and they've already gotten their first listings. Why? Because I've been able to identify what they're good at.
Yeah.
And say, hey, let's use that.
It's unique, it's everything. That's what you stand for. In my aspect, in my life, social media is something that I'm very thankful for. I'm thankful for every follower, every referral, every client. It means the world to me. You reaching out to me, knowing that I'm a rookie in real estate, just makes me want to fly and makes me want to take off and run and be an asset to not only my mentor, but my clients.
I'm 50-50 on it. I don't do a lot of social media. I used to. I wish I had your social media presence, to be honest with you, right? For me, it's because I'm so used to putting my head down and working. I want the social media presence to go to anybody that is on the team. Obviously, some of it has to do with what you're self-conscious about, right? Like some people don't like the way they look. Like me, sometimes I think about it too, right? But at the same time, I understand that social media is a platform that can change your life.
No,
There's been so many agents.
It has changed my life.
And I see that.
It has changed my life.
And I see that.
Yes.
I do think that everything has its time and place. A lot of times social media can be a lot of just highlight reels, and it doesn't really put in front of everybody's faces the downs that we face, like the downhill slopes that we go through. And I think if we had a little bit more of that, social media would be a little bit more raw and real. But I don't know, for me it's 50-50 because prospecting for me is literally all I do.
You're a natural.
With that, yeah.
You're a natural. So I wish you were following me before because I am actually a person who goes on social media and cries when I'm down and lets people know this is raw. This isn't something that was handed to me. Sometimes I don't have it. I tell people this, and I feel like that's what has people engaged with me, and they want to see me win, and they do support me, is because I'm raw. When I do good, I do good. But when I'm bad and my back is against the wall, social media hears it. Do I get judgment out of it? Absolutely, but I don't care. I'm getting judged by people who don't support me.
Yeah.
My supporters are actually not only mental supporting me, but they come and support my business and they trust me. So yeah, we definitely have two different views in social media. And I have definitely gone on social media and actually cried. I know it sounds like a sad story, but it's the truth. And I related to so many people. And I just wanted to let people know that if I can do it by myself with 2 kids, my kids used to come and sell cosmetics with me till midnight. They know I'm not lying. I would hold them on my chest. I would walk with the bag. I would cry. And I would lay them down, go on social media and say, this is life. this is life. And it still happens now, but the problems I have now are problems that I want for the rest of my life. Like, it's too hot outside and the traffic is just jammed.
First world problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not the problems that I had when I was a single parent. And that has a lot to do with who I met and who I sat with and who I took off with. That has a lot to do with it. But social media, I love you.
I think if I said that social media was becoming mandatory for agents, it would speak against certain methods that I have. Like, if you look at my social media, it's so boring. It's just posts of just sold, just this, just that. I think where people get the feeling of who I am and like what I'm about is through stories. So I kind of separate them. You know what I mean? For me, it's easier to show who I am through stories because I can act a fool. There's times where I'll be on social media and the things that I laugh at, I'll share. But I do think it is becoming mandatory, especially if you're newer, because it's a way to really get your face out there. It's a way you can talk to 300, 400 people at the same time. When has anybody ever gotten that opportunity? Oh, man. It's been a wild ride with AI, to be honest with you. We started with ChatGPT giving us just answers to certain things. Now we have people that are doing comps on ChatGPT because it's merged with Zillow. You can literally go to an open house, or you can go to a house where you're meeting a seller. I'm not gonna say you're gonna get exact comps, but you'll get an idea. It'll pull the homes that sold in that area with the information from Zillow. So that way, when you talk to a seller about something, you at least have some data points, right? You don't have to sit in front of a computer and do all that stuff the manual way where people used to do it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but to give you an idea, like integrating AI into our business has been great. Plus, we've been able to make fancier marketing pieces like our logos, our open house signs, things like that.
I do believe that in his case, he's living proof that social media isn't mandatory. He really takes his business and actually does the work. AI can't do what you do.
No.
You know, so it's just contradicting. It's the life that you choose. See, to me, this is natural. I feel home. I feel like this is where I belong, you know? As for you, you're home. I hear you. I see you. I clap you. I go home. I tell my partner, like, you have to see, this guy is so knowledgeable. Like, he's great on the phone. Oh my God, I can't wait to reach his level.
The same way that you talk about reaching that level is the same way I'm like, man, I wish I had, and I know I have the ability, but I'm just like, I wish I could just do what you do.
Slim, you're here.
You know?
You're doing what I'm doing. You're actually talking and giving the audience everything you know. That's why I'm here, because I know I can be an asset to Slim, and Slim is 1,010% an asset to me when it comes down to real estate.
I think that's the most beautiful part of real estate, right? Or just any business in general.
Correct.
Is that you can see where there's talent here, talent there, and the two can kind of coexist, right? Could it be somewhat of a walking contradiction? Yeah, kind of, but if you really think about it, we're building our business right now, and we left our 9-to-5s to work, 24/7? And, so like,
yeah.
And in the beginning, you're not making a lot of money, right? But you're still building something that's yours, so that, I think, in and of itself is a walking contradiction too. You're saving something, you're walking away from something that's safe, and you're taking a risk of betting on yourself, knowing that you could lose it all.
Exactly. But knowing, see, that's the plus, because what I called you last week and I told you I'm getting a little insecure, correct?
Yeah.
I'm getting a little insecure. I'm looking at this as an investment. Me coming down, my kids are in the back, by the way. That happens to me at least 4 times a week. Sometimes I'm going to have to take my kids to open houses. And I think people like to see that because it's raw, and they have to come with me. They're not adults yet.
Plus, it's a testament to how hard you're willing to work.
I'm willing to work.
It's like by any means necessary.
Exactly.
For you, this is your insecurity now, right? Where I am, my insecurity is like, oh my God, my production has gone down, but the team's production has gone up. So I always say, like, for every level, there's a different devil. I'm going to be insecure about a lot of things, but at the end of the day, I'm still very proud of how far we've come together.
You should be. You should be. You should be extremely proud. Extremely proud of yourself.
I don't have a work-life balance, to be honest with you. I don't really sleep a lot because I spend a lot of my time thinking about how I can make this whole thing better. I think about the people on the team that are having a hard time, that haven't gotten their first deal yet. I don't want them to go through what I went through. That's actually really hard to talk about.
Yeah, no, see, you are on a whole, you're living a prayer. And you were chosen to be here to do what you do because you're so passionate about it. And I have never in my life met anyone who I can look back and say, he reminds me of me. Like, the passion is there. And you're great. you keep attracting people who are going to make this all worth it.
Yeah, like this really is a dream right now. But I think that's why it's not so hard to be upset about the fact that there is no work-life balance for me, because I'm the type of person that I will stay up till 2 in the morning and try to come up with an idea that's going to make things better for everybody else. I don't know. I just feel like if I'm not somehow helping people become more confident or do more business and showing them that what I'm telling them is actually real, then I'm failing them. So, you know,
Give yourself some grace. You do enough for everyone. You are deserving of everything that's coming your way. And please just know that this is a level. Like, you are like a hit away from breaking the mind, even though you're just a year in. This is like unheard of. 1 year in and you have a whole team. We don't fit in the office anymore.
I know. But I
That's just amazing.
Man.
Congratulations.
I love it. I really do love everybody now.
No, you do. Okay, for me, work balance sucks. I'm going to be completely honest. Being a full-time parent, being a full-time entrepreneur, trying to be a full-time partner is one of the hardest things I've ever done, ever. And I break. I'm human. I break all the time. I cry all the time. My back is against the wall all the time. But that doesn't stop me from wanting to continue. Balancing all of that, to me, I don't think it should be that way, by the way. I want to make that very clear. I don't think a woman or a man should have full responsibility and carrying so much on their weight, but that's what I chose. That's what my life is. That's what my life consists of. And I found love, which is a blessing, correct? I prayed for love. I found real estate. I found a mentor I can connect with. I found my business running. I'm not there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. My business is running. This is unheard of. It's only been 3 years with a storefront. So I can't complain much. Balancing it is hard, but I'm living proof that it's possible.
Imposter syndrome is like, all right, so you know how I'm a cold caller?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Sometimes I'll get listings, and then I know I'll go through like a 2-week dry spell where I'm not getting listings, and then I question myself, like, am I really who I say I am? Am I really? It could be due to insecurities. It could be due to just a dry spell. It could be due to anything.
I truly believe deep down, I swear maybe I'm overthinking the question, I believe that I deserve everything more because I'm genuine, I'm raw, I'm loyal. I don't do wrong by people. I've worked so hard my entire life, and to me, I thoroughly believe that I deserve more. As cocky as that sounds, it's not coming from a cocky way. It's just something I truly...
No, I think it's just pure confidence for you. You know what I mean? Like, confident and cocky is two different things.
Yeah. And the work, it speaks for itself. Like, I am a true loyal person when it comes down to business. I do believe that good people deserve the big trophy in my eyes. And you're one of them. I believe that anyone who's good, loyal, and has that sense of soul ties with the universe deserves a trophy.
I would love to feel that way.
Really?
I don't.
Oh my God, no. Why?
So I actually suffer from imposter syndrome almost every day of my life, right? So even when I was younger, like when I was 18, 19, you know, things got so hard for me that, like, you know, I've tried ending it all before a few times. And then after I reached a certain point, I'm like, hey, I'm never going to do that again, right? And since then, it's almost like I did a lot of things with a chip on my shoulder, and I was always out to prove something. And obviously, like, that's like more, I would say, childhood trauma, right? Like, kind of stems from that. But even now, I question myself. As good as I'm doing, for me, it's never really been enough. Like, for me, it'll never be enough until I know that everybody that's around me in the circle that I'm in, it's never going to be enough for me until I see them all happy, telling me that, hey, you know, I'm able to support my family right now because of everything that we did together. I'm able to do this or that. So, like, the little wins, they mean a lot, don't get me wrong, but as quickly as I take them in, I let it out.
So if that's imposter syndrome, then I feel the same way. I cannot feel like that for longer than 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I detest to tell myself, this is how I feel. No. That's a feeling. It's your brain messing with you. We are on levels that we once prayed for and we forget. So that's what I tell myself when I start getting those doubts in my head. Jetzabelle, you prayed for this. You want more? If you sit down in any millionaire room, they will tell you that it's never ending. They die wanting more. The wanting more is just levels.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting there and you're like, wow, I want this and I want that, we are living a prayer. I snap out of it. I'm like, that's it. It's done. I'm back. Rise and grind. 5 a.m. gym. Let's go. But imposter syndrome is real. For me, I would want, I hope Le Milan is on a different level and everyone continues to book and trust my team. My team is running my salon as we speak, and that to me means everything to me. I get to sit down and start my podcast. What else? I would like to learn more from real estate. I would like to be an asset to your team, and I would like to contribute into growing. So that's my hopes.
Well, you already are an asset. I can tell you that already. So I don't think in a year from now you're ever going to have to worry about that. And then on top of your growth, I mean, I think you've already seen it with the first client that we dealt with. Right?
Correct.
They absolutely love you. Wherever you hope to be in a year, I think you're going to be there in less than 6 months. Sincerely.
I love hearing it.
For me, where I would hope to be in a year, I would like to enjoy life a little bit more.
You deserve that.
Yeah, like even right now, I can't. There's something that does not allow me to enjoy anything. Jalen, my fiance, the one that helps me out with everything, back end paperwork, stuff like that. I hope to be that husband that can shower her and
the goals.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I'm just starting to now, but even when I do it, the attention focuses right back on the business. And I just hope that in a year from now, anybody around me that thought that I was mean or this or that, it wasn't that I wanted to be that way. It was because of the fact that I see something in everybody. I need to come out of them because I hold them to such a high standard, because I know that everybody can be so much more in terms of not just a person, but in the career path that they're choosing. And I could only hope that, and this is going to happen, like this I'm positive, but this will be the biggest organization in the brokerage, in the company, and we will 1,000,000% expand into other states and develop team leaders here within this state. And I just hope that everybody can put their spin on the brand that we're creating.
It's already happening as we speak, and I'm going to stop you now. You do shower Jalen. She is your partner. She sees the hard work. It's going to take off. She's next to you. You are showering one another. That's true love. You want to talk about raw? That's raw. You guys are together from day one. You're about to get married. Goals are happening. Goals are happening.
I proposed to her in a basement. It wasn't a crazy proposal. When she met me, I was losing everything. I drove an Audi S5. Like, life was good. I was making money. And then I kind of knew that I was losing everything because rates had gone up, business had slowed down tremendously. And I'll never forget the day that I woke up in the basement, because that's where I would sleep with her. I went outside and I saw that my car was gone. And I had a $7,400 check sitting on the counter that I just never cashed. And it was supposed to be used to catch me up on my car. When I lost my car, I cried.
So you worked hard for it.
Such a tough time. I told Jalen, I'm like, Jalen, like, listen, like, I think you need to leave me because it's not worth it to be with me right now. Like, I lost everything. I have no value to give you. And she stayed, and because we had no car, she went and applied for a car. And
that's love.
That's what got us through.
That's love. That's a blessing. And you need to stop saying that you're not worth it. You sure are, and she knows it. She sees it in you. That's what partners are for. Yeah. I love this. I love this. You're gonna do great, and I'm so happy that I'm a part of it. Like,
I'm happy you're a part.
I'm gonna bring you back in 6 months. And I'm going to tell everyone what you did.
Don't let anybody ever tell you that something is out of reach just because right now is not the time for you. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to feel like sometimes the world is against you. And you're going to take little signs from the universe, from God, that may tell you that right now is not the time or that you can't. But I always tell people, you gotta look at life like this, right? God is always going to reward you, but you have to show up. If you show up, whether it's fixing your credit or saving a little bit of money or becoming disciplined or just deciding what path you want to walk, you pray, you talk to God, the universe, and it will deliver as long as you show that you really want it. There's nobody out there that can ever tell you what your path is. You decide, you lock in, You become laser focused, and you're gonna have exactly what you want.
I have one last question,
Yeah.
and I'll let you go because I know you're very busy. Would you choose me as your realtor, and why?
Yeah, that's a. It's not even a like a yeah, It's like a resounding yes for me. Only because there's very few people that you come across that have that magnetic personality. I almost feel like sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit, and it's in the little things that you say.
Yeah.
Like when you apologize for certain things, and I'm like, what are you apologizing for? You did this so great. You are much further ahead of your curve than you think. In a month from now, when you've worked with 3 different people and you've cold called now 60 times, you're gonna realize that if somebody were to not choose you, it's not because of you. It's because of whatever internal problem they have. I would choose you a million times out of 10 because there's something to say about a person that will go to an appointment and carry their children and try to get things done by any means necessary. And there's not enough people out there that are like that.
All right, cut that. I'm gonna start crying. Yeah, no, it's real. It's raw. It's I don't give myself enough credit.
You don't.
I'm very grateful to be here, and I apologize because I know that I could give more, but I also have to be a full-time mother. And I will never take that away.
You give all that you can.
Yeah.
There's nothing to apologize when it comes to that because it's just who you are, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care what anybody says. The right people are gonna appreciate what you do have to give, and that's why I don't want you to question what you do give. No, but I'm not questioning it, right? Why should you?
Right.